My name is Marcus Miller, Realtor with Keller Williams out of the Kalamazoo Market Center. The purpose for this video here today is to go over a transaction at a property where I represent a buyer in Galesburg, Michigan. Okay, this was a unique transaction. Okay, in real estate, you always hear people talk about the good. Nobody talks about the bad, or nobody actually go through every transactions that they had. That's where I come in at. That's where I'm different, and I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna go over each and every one of my transactions to let you see what really goes on behind the scenes. Okay? So with that said, let's get into it. Okay, this is a story. This is a story. This is a story. Um, I got one of my. I'm a part-time realtor, full-time factory worker. So I got my license in June 15th. All right. A couple of my guys that I work with one of my guys that I work with by the name of Dakota. He worked at the foundry with me. He got pre-approved for like $200,000 for a house. So I'm going out and I'm showing Dakota houses. We looking, probably for a couple weeks straight. So this one house I pull up to, before we go in, another car pull up. Right? So my guy got out the car. It was like, y'all about to go look at this house real quick? Y'all mind if I go inside and look at it with y'all? Because they've been trying to get somebody to look inside this house, but the realtor been spinning them. Whoever realtor he was messing with been spinning them because they've been trying to get inside this house. So I happened to pull up with my buyer, and so they seen us again, like I said. So I go talk to my buyer, like, hey, these guys want to go in the house with us. Do you mind? He's like, shit, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So we go inside the house. Neither one of them like him. Neither one of them like the house that neither one of them liked the house that we was going to at that time. All right. So my original buyer, Dakota, he left because he had his little son with him and he had stuff to do. So I tell Dakota, all right, man, sorry you don't like this house. We're gonna move on. Just keep on looking. So then Chris, the buyer that came in, wanted to look at the house along with Dakota. Said, yeah, man, if you find some more houses like this, we looking to buy. Our range is like 300,000, and it has to have land and acres and stuff like that. So now, take in mind, right? Depend on what real estate company that you work for, okay, and depends on who you talk to. It's going to tell you this: don't show nobody a property without having a pre-approval letter. All right, I didn't listen. And at Keller Williams, there's no requirement to show somebody a house whether they got a pre-approval letter or not. Just make sure that if you show one person a house without a pre-approval letter, that you show everybody a house without a pre-approval letter. Okay, that's the rules and regulations of real estate. Because then you can get hit with discrimination laws. That's another argument. I mean, that's another discussion right there. Okay, so him and his wife, Chris, and his wife Marcy, tell me the type of property they're looking at. So instantly, I set Marcy up on the search. Okay, off the MLS. So all these houses coming to market is gonna go to her house first. Now, we looked at 10 properties within like the first month. Find nothing. Now, all of this is in just good faith, saying that they approved for 300,000. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't ask to see the letter because I'm a new realtor, and I'm like, fuck it, I need to practice anyway. Let's get inside some of these houses, okay? So we go inside and we look, and they just don't see nothing that they like. You know what I'm saying? So within the next month, we go like another 10 to 20 more houses. Nothing that they like. Am I getting frustrated? Not at all. Nope, I'm not frustrated because I know that this is part of the process. When you start looking at a house, when you start looking at houses to buy and purchase a home, you got to think you're going to look at 10 to 30, maybe even 40 houses before you find that one. And I'm content with that because I know that this is a big investment for you. Everybody just don't wake up and spend $100, $200, $300, $400,000 on a house. So if you are going to spend that much money, I respect that, and let's get it right. because we don't want you to move inside this house and you have regrets. Like, man, I should never moved inside here. Okay? So with that said, we still looking. Me and Chris still looking. They call, hey, can you go look at this property? Yeah, true. Date, we go, whoop, whoop, wop, whoop, wop, bang. We looking. All right? So, fast forward. They give me a call and said they want to go look at this property, okay? But I didn't send the property to them off the multiple listed service. Their son found this property while they was on vacation, okay? And if you're wondering why my search didn't pop up and give them this house, this is why. They told me their price range was 300,000. So I went over by 20,000. Because the reason I went over by 20,000 is because just because the house is worth 320 don't mean just because the house is listed for 320 don't mean the property is worth 320. So I'm looking at houses from 320 to 325 range, and when I do my comps, if it ain't working, I'm gonna bring it down within 300 to their price range. Because at the end of the day, like Ben told me from Keller Williams, it's only three things that can happen when you put an offer in. They can say yes, no, or they can counter it. Okay? And with that said, the reason I ain't find that house for them because the price was listed, that property was listed for 350,000. Okay? So what I learned from that one transaction is just because a buyer says that they only want a house for 300,000, go 50 to 60,000 over, even 70,000 over, right? Because if they see that one property that they want, they're gonna figure out a way to come up with that cash. There is, and that's what happened. This property was listed for 350. Okay, so I pull up to the property. I said, "Wow." Location, nailed the location, nailed it, right? 9.75 acres, 3 bedrooms, ranch style, 2 full bathrooms, full size basement with a kitchen in it. So I pull up to the house. I'm like, whoa, this might be it. This really might be the house. So I called up the listing agent. It was like, do you mind if I go live with this property? And she said, yeah, sure. She said, sure, go ahead. So that's what I do. I go live. And if you're listening to my live, you see I'm telling like my buyer's just going to like this property. I go inside, I see it. Now, I've been in enough of these properties with my buyers to know what they looking for. Okay? Them 10 and 20 or 30 transactions that I showed them, these houses, it was a learning experience for me too. So now I know what they looking for. So I'm walking through this house like, oh yeah, this the one. This the one. This is it. This is everything they looking for right here. Inside my head before they get there. Okay? So now I'm thinking inside my head, I never seen a pre-approval letter. I know this is the house. It has to be. Okay? If they don't pull the trigger and say, yeah, let's go, then I'm gonna have to walk away from these people. That's inside my head. That's what I'm thinking. Because I know in my heart that this is it. If it ain't it, show me why it's not it. Okay? So they come, right? They pull up. I walk in, they pull up. Their eyes went like this. They had a look that I ain't never seen them have before. So I'm looking like, this may be real. This may be. I think this is the one. Now I'm knowing because I'm seeing they going through here. They going through the home. They figuring stuff out. They want to know if it's in the flood zone or not. So I call one of my lenders up. They show me how to go on the FEMA website to find if the house is in the flood zone. It's not in the flood zone. I called the listing agent. She already did her research. It's not in the flood zone. She sent the research over. I showed it's not in the flood zone. So they said, let's put an offer in. Okay. We about to go ahead and put this offer in. All right. I got a trusted lender by the name of Jeremy Durback, who's with AmeriFirst Bank out of Kalamazoo. So as we get ready to put the offer in, I'm thinking like, what should we put the offer in for? So I look at the history of the transaction of the houses ever since it's been on the market. They started off like at 500, okay. Then it went like to 400. Then it went to like 375. They just kept on coming down until they got to 350, and then they found a buyer, okay, which wasn't us at the time, but the buyer pulled out because he lost his job. So the house went back on the market, and that's when we seen it for 350. And the house that already got appraised already, and it came in at value at 350. So I'm thinking about what offer can I put in. So now inside my head, this is what I'm thinking. The seller is probably frustrated that they thought they had a closing date and they really didn't have a closing date because the buyer lost finance because he lost his job. So they was probably housebroken, heartbroken. Okay, so my recommendations to my buyers was, let's ask them to pay let's take $10,000 off the overall price. Then let's ask them to pay $10,000 in closing costs. Because like I said, the only thing they can do is say yes, no, or they can counter. Okay, so they counter was, yeah, we'll do this, but we not doing no more repairs on the house. So with that said, my buyer was already up for it because they didn't know this is what he do anyway. He do repairs anyway. We still gonna go through with the home inspection to find out what's all wrong with the house, but we're not gonna ask for no repairs. Okay, so we put the offer in. It gets accepted. So this is my second transaction in real estate. I'm working on a $350,000 home. I got a trusted lender with me, which goes by the name of Jeremy Durback. So we moving. Let's go. Let's get it rocking. We moving. All right. The process get in. We get the home inspector out there the next day. You know what I'm saying? Which we really ain't worried about the home inspection because we waived the home inspection anyway. Home inspection come through. Everything's moving around smooth. So we get to the like the next week. We think about closing early than the 30 to 45 days. We think about closing like in 3 weeks because that's the way things moving. Then all of a sudden I get a call from Jeremy. He's like, yeah, Marcus, I got some bad news. I'm like, what's up, Jeremy? Everything okay? I didn't get a call this Tuesday. So he called me. He's like, yeah, I'm not with AmeriFirst no more. I said, what? But we got the loan with AmeriFirst. And it's already going smooth. He called me and told me he's not with AmeriFirst no more. Oh, shit. Here we go. So he moved to Treadstone because the AmeriFirst people is changing their company's rules and regulation, whatever they was going through. Jeremy's not there no more. So now I'm stuck with somebody who I don't got no relationships with, but the loan is already over there. So me, the buyer, and the seller agreed to keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. So as we keep it moving, we run into our first problem. Not only our first problem, the biggest problem. The deck is messed up. The deck is not walkable on. When you go inside the house, it says do not open the sliding doors and walk on the deck. It's a danger zone. So when the appraiser go out, the appraiser flagged the deck as not safe. Okay, so we asked AmeriFirst, can we just put a screw in the window to stop the people from inside going outside, and put plywood up and stop people from going on the outside to the steps of the deck? And they said no. For whatever reasons, they say no. The whole deck has to get done or tore down. So me and my buyer like, why would we go and tear down a deck or rebuild the deck when we don't even have have the house under in our name yet? You know what I'm saying? Why would we go and fix the deck, demolition it down, and we not even the owners of the property yet? That just that mathematically don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? So what they're asking for is not even feasible if you even a human being, like who even come up with a thought like this, you know what I'm saying? But that, and they wasn't giving us no ultimatum. You know what I'm saying? So remember when I said that the we negotiated no more repairs. Okay. So one day I call up Allison from from Keller Williams, right? So she in the bar. I text her like I got a question. She's like, "Is it important, Marcus?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's kind of important." Like, I'm about to step out. I'm with my friends. I'm about to step out. So I told her about the situation about the deck. She was like, "Listen, I understand what you told the buyers, but listen, peep game. You're not asking them for repairs." I'm like, "I'm not." Like, no, you're not asking them. The appraiser is asking for the deck to be fixed. Okay. So what ended up happening was I went back to the seller and see the seller agents and see if we can come up with a solution, okay, for this deck situation. So I tell her like, listen, we not asking for no repairs. The appraiser is asking for repairs to get done on the deck. Because otherwise, I think they broke it. They broke it down to me like these loans possibly can be sold to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, okay, and it has to be safe. They ain't taking on that responsibility of somebody going on the deck and get hurt. Supposedly, that's what Amira first said. That's what they said, right? So I'm tore. I'm tore up, man. Like we trying to come up with a solution. So what ended up happening was the best solution was in the middle of the deal, we pick up and bounce. You're like, what? Yeah, in the middle of the deal, what we did was this, which is dangerous, but it had to be done. Had to be done. We picked up and said, America First, we don't know what y'all on. All right, we leaving y'all alone. Okay, we took the whole deal over to Jeremy at Jeremy Durbat at Treadstone. Okay, so now in the middle of the deal, we stopped using one lending institution, move all the way over to the next lending institution with the guy who we wanted to do it with the first time, who gets deals done to the finish line. Okay, so now we get another appraisal on the property. Okay, so after we get another appraisal on the property, the appraiser flagged the deck. All right, he flagged the deck just like the other appraiser flagged the deck. Okay, but the only thing we had to do was go over there and put a screw on all the windows from the inside. That so if you try to slide the door, it won't move. Put a lock on the door high enough so no kids can get to it. Lock it up so they can't open the deck. Go outside and make the deck inaccessible to people to walk on. Okay, so look at these pictures right quick, and this is what we had to do. So now let me tell you. So the sellers is out of town on vacation, right? So I called the listing agent and asked her, listen, ask the seller if me and the buyer can go over there and we'll do it. We'll do it. Fuck it. We'll do it. You feel what I'm saying? Put some plywood up, put some screws in the nails, put a lock up. Anything to save the deal. So we go over there, me the realtor, and my buyer Christopher, we go out there, power tools all, gloves on, cold, you know what I'm saying? And we do what needed to be done to get the deal done. That's why when I tell y'all, when I say I got your back like a shirt, that is what I mean. I'm going out there with you and putting the work in, driving 30 minutes just to make sure that the deal gets done. So that's what we do. Me and Chris, we go out there, we kick it, we kicking it, we getting the job done. We take the pictures, send them in to the appraiser at Treadstone, and guess what? We close on the deal. We got to clear the close, and we closed on the deal. Why that other institution couldn't do the same thing, which they did for many people, but for some reason they didn't do it for this reason. The reasons is beyond my reach. But the moral to the story, is to stay on the topic, is we got the job done. Okay, it was a lot of stuff that was going on in this deal, a lot of moving parts. But at the end of the day, we got the job done in under 35 days. The closing date changed by like 4 to 5 days, but you know, we packed up and leave in the middle of the deal. But like I said at the beginning of this, right? If you're looking at this and watch this the whole time, this is real estate. Yes, you are a salesman, right? But above and beyond of you being a salesman, you are a problem solver. You solve problems. You get with a lender that can solve problems. There is no such thing as a perfect transaction. I have not seen one yet. You gotta be ready when obstacles get in your way. You gotta be able to go whoosh, whoosh, the matrix on. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be ready. You gotta be able to dodge. Well, that's some of the stuff about the second transaction I had. I hope y'all learned a lot. All right, hit the go to YouTube, go to Facebook. Well, that's it about this transaction. Hope y'all learned a lot. If you're a realtor, hope y'all paying attention and taking notes in case you ever come across this situation. Once again, my name is Marcus Miller. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams out of the Kalamazoo Market Center. And I really am that realtor who got your back like a shirt. I'm not just saying that. It's the truth. Have y'all a blessed day.
Hey, this is Marcus Miller, one of my new realtors from Keller Williams, who actually worked with me through the purchase of our new home in Galesburg, Michigan. Awesome guy. I would refer him to anybody. So if you got any questions, please do call Marcus Miller and he'll get you right.
Nice doing business with you.